Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So on today's topic is buying and selling your figures on marketplace or other websites. So I had some issues lately and I wanted to discuss them with you guys when buying figures or even selling figures. Mainly the sideshow Pennywise. I didn't mention this in his review, but basically when I bought them, the seller didn't mention. So the seller was pretty much selling this one for his friend. So his friend owned the figure. He sold it to me on the Facebook groups, and he forgot to mention that the figure was smelling like smoke because his friend was actually smoking. So again, I didn't mention that in his review. I got the figure and I noticed right away he was smelling, especially his clothes. So what I did, obviously I contacted him. I was pretty pissed and he offered a partial refund because I had an idea on how to fix that issue, which was pretty easy. It would have been easier actually if the zip was on his back, because then I would have just removed his clothes and put them in warm water with some soap and that would have gone away. But since there's some stitching in front, actually this is it's not movie accurate because the stitching should have been on the back, but regardless. So what I did, I popped his set off and put him in a big Ziploc bag, the kind that you would froze food inside, and I put some like bounty sheets inside and I let him there for about 2 weeks, and that pretty much solved the problem. So no big deal at the end of the week. But yeah, you know, issues like that when the seller is not discussing these problems, that's a big pain in the ass, especially for me, and I'm pretty much sure that's a pain in the ass for all of you out there who are buying used figures. So I had one big issue last year in May, I think, of 2024. I used to have the NECA 1:1 scale Bride of Chucky, life-size Chucky, which is similar to this one, I mean, in terms of the size. So I sold them on marketplace, and the big issue I had, there was this guy who said, you know, I cannot pay right away, so he gave me a deposit. He probably about $200. Then a week later, he pretty much said, oh, I'm off work, I need my money back. So I sent him, you know, $100 back. And then a couple of days later, he said, you know, I want my full refund. I said, no man, I'm not gonna give you a refund because this is a deposit. You know, you pretty much said you're gonna give me a deposit, and then in 2 weeks you're gonna pay the full amount. So a deposit is a deposit. You know, you can pretty much go on Sideshow, Big Bad Toy Store. Your deposits are not gonna get refunded. Unless, obviously, if I think the figure gets delayed, maybe they're gonna refund you. But regardless, so, you know, then, you know, I mentioned him, I said, F off, you know, I'm not gonna refund you, it's a deposit is a deposit. So then he blocked me, obviously, and I thought that was the end of it, but no, he went on the Facebook groups and tried to bash my reputation, but that didn't work, because the admin poked me, messaged me on Facebook, and I sent him the screenshots. So the guy pretty much looked like a fool. He made a fool of himself, but he tried to pretty much, you know, ruin my reputation. I'm pretty much selling, you know, on Facebook, on the Facebook group since 2014. So it's been out to almost, you know, 11 years or so. So I have a pretty good reputation on there. So make sure, you know, to stay away of these crazy people. But luckily, he actually sent me the deposit into my bank, because if he would have used PayPal, goods and services, you know, he would have claimed that he wanted his money back to PayPal, so that would have been a whole different story. But even if you're using PayPal, you can still get, you know, scammed or other issues by the buyer, especially if the buyer says, you know, I'm not at home, could you send the figure to a different address? So he may give you a different address, but the issue there, PayPal always recommends you to send your item to the address linked to the account, because if not, the seller could say, you know, I never got the item. So, you know, he could open a case and you could pretty much lose your figure in this case, or your money, which is a pain in the ass. You know, I got scammed a few times on eBay, but usually PayPal always got my back. And this brings me to this week. I'm in the process of buying my second Prime on Studio, and don't worry guys, the follow-up video is gonna come with my actually first Prime on Studio, which is from Arkham Knight. I'm not gonna tell you what character it is. I think it's Arkham Origins, so yeah. But yeah, be patient, it's gonna come very soon. So I messaged the seller again, and this is another problem that happens a lot. So I was browsing for some figures, and I come across this seller who lives about 2.5 hours away from me. He had an interesting statue from Prime 1 on sale, and again he used a stock picture from Prime 1, which is not a good idea. So you should always ask the seller if to send you more pictures. And I asked him, and he said, I don't have any pictures because the statue's in his box. Obviously guys, before you put the statue for sale, you should automatically at least take between 5 and 10 pictures, close-ups of the head, the accessories, whatever, the box, and then put your name on a sheet of paper with the date. That's probably the best way to deal with this. So he said, sorry, I cannot take some more pictures. All you have to do is come in person and check the statue itself, which again, like I said, it's about 2.5 hours away from me. So 2.5 hours to go there and 2.5 hours to come back. I said, look man, I'm not gonna waste $60 on the gas just to go there and be disappointed by the product if I cannot even see a pictures. I mean, it's common sense. It takes 5 seconds to take a picture. Just make sure you have all the statue or whatever you're selling, it's in frame with the good quality, good lighting, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it takes 5 seconds. Everyone nowadays carries a phone with them. You can even make a video that takes a minute or two. Just say your name, say this is what I'm selling, blah blah blah, just to avoid getting scam or whatever. So if everything goes okay, I'm gonna go pick up the statue in a few days, Saturday. So I'm gonna show you guys an unboxing and a review of that. Very excited because I always wanted to get some Prime 1 statues. I got my first one actually 2 weeks ago. I'm in the process of doing the review, so that's why I'm not showing you guys the desk, which is on my right. The statue is currently there, but my second one, I'm gonna go and pick it up Saturday. And also I have to pick up my Feral Predator from Hot Toys. My reseller contacted me that he's in stock, so very excited. Again, it took a very long time. I expected that figure to show up in July, but we're now in September, beginning of September, and that figure showed up. And just a small update here, I did end up getting a base for this guy, which is fantastic. Go check out his review. Also, I did put up the review of the Blitzway Ecto 1. This is from Afterlife. I posted this last week, so make sure to check the video up. I went into detail with, showing all the bells and whistles, lights and sounds and everything. It's a lengthy video, but it's worth it, so make sure to go check that out. So yeah, that was pretty much it for this video. It was a pretty quick rant about people, not paying attention on what they're selling, so yeah, make sure guys to pay attention. Make sure to always use PayPal goods and services. Which is interesting. I've sold some figures in the past, in the past couple of days, and some people here in Canada, what they do to send money rather than using PayPal is they will actually send you the money directly into your bank account, which I don't mind that because people generally trust me. I have a very good reputation, but the problem with that is, there's no way to be protected basically like PayPal does. So yeah. I've sold plenty of movies, and the guy said, oh, what's your email? I'm gonna send the amount in your account, which again, I'm always surprised, especially when I'm selling a figure that's between $200 and $300. The guy just wants to send me the money directly into my bank account and not he's not stressed out, which again, it's always amazes me that people don't really pay attention to this kind of stuff, and then they obviously get scammed and they get upset because they lose hundreds of dollars. So again, make sure guys you take your time, you do your research on whoever is selling, or if you're buying, whatever, on the person, because sometimes they are a scammer. So again, it was a quick video today, but just sharing this with you. Let me know in the comments below if you had these issues when buying or selling figures. So I would like to know in the comments below. And as usual guys, like this video, comment, subscribe. We're getting there, close to 2,000 subscribers. So again, a big thumbs up to you guys, I appreciate that. And as usual, stay safe and have an excellent day. Take care guys, bye bye.